Welcome to the Independent Advisors Podcast, where we dive into the world of stocks, tradable markets, and financial planning with Jessup Wealth Management's Chief Investment Officer, Mark McEvily, and CEO, Matt Jessup. You'll hear tips, tricks, and strategies to address your financial well-being, and most importantly, conveyed in a way that everyone can understand. Here are your hosts, Mark and Matt.
Welcome to episode 352 of the Independent Advisors Podcast. On today's show, we're excited to welcome our special guest, Chris Kershner, President and CEO of the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce. During our conversation, we'll take a deeper look into the important role that the Chamber plays in supporting the Dayton business community, discuss the economic trends shaping our region, and get Chris's perspective on the overall health and momentum of the Dayton economy from his unique vantage point. Whether you're tuning in for market insights, planning tips, or just staying informed, there's something here for you. As always, before we jump in with Chris, we're going to review the month-to-date and year-to-date performance of the major indices that investors track. This data is going to be from stock charts as of the market close on May 27th. The S&P 500 index month-to-date up 4.32%, year-to-date up 9.86%. The NASDAQ composite month-to-date up 7.16%, year-to-date up 14.77%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average month-to-date up 2% even, year-to-date up 5.37%. The IWM Russell 2000 Small Cap ETF month-to-date up 4.46, year-to-date up 18.17. So continuing to see that outperformance by small caps over large. On the yield front, on bonds, the 3-month Treasury yield sits at 3.67, the 2-year Treasury yield sits at 4.04, and the 10-year sits at 4.48%. Chris, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Matt. It's great to be here.
It's an honor to have you. I've known you for over a decade. You are fabulous proponent for the Dayton community. I can't wait to get your insights today.
I'm excited for it. And I actually remember one of the first times we met was at your previous house that you had here in Oakwood.
Yes, sir.
You hosted the Doors of Compassion for the Ronald McDonald House. You were helping the lead presenting sponsor for that.
Yes.
And you guys were one of the houses there. And we had dinner with one of the local chefs.
It was fun, wasn't it?
And helped support the Ronald McDonald House. And it was a great event.
That's a great memory. You're right. Yeah. That is how we first got to know each other. And I want to say, if I am guessing, it's probably around the 2012-ish.
That sounds right.
Sound about right?
That sounds right.
Yeah. And of course, I met your lovely wife as well, Lori. She's fabulous.
She's the boss.
Yeah, hey, it's the same in my household with Rachel, and you guys are wonderful. You're
thank
wonderful.
You. Well, you guys have been great friends, and I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk about what's going on in the Dayton region and how we're growing.
I love this. Before we get into this week's show, listeners, if you've been enjoying the Independent Advisors Podcast, I'd encourage you to head to our website, jessupwealthmanagement.com. I offer a 15-minute initial call where you can discuss your financial goals and see if JWM is a good fit for your needs. Scheduling is easy. Once you land at the jessupwealthmanagement.com website, just click Schedule Initial Call and select a time that works best for you. There's a quick survey to fill out that will help guide the conversation and ensure your time is used efficiently. If you're ready to learn more, visit jessupwealthmanagement.com and book your call today. So tell us a little bit about your background. I know, of course, but our listeners and viewers might not. Your background, your career path, and what ultimately led you to the Chamber.
Sure. I'm excited. The path I've gone down. I've really been blessed and had some great opportunities. I'm a Kettering guy. So born and raised in Kettering. Went to Fairmont High School, graduated from Fairmont High School.
I did not know that about you, by the way.
That's right. And then was trying to figure out what I wanted to do next, right? And my mom and dad were trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. And so they said, why don't you go to Sinclair?
Okay.
Take a year, figure it out, because you don't know.
I'm also a Sinclair grad, by the way.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I went to Sinclair for a year, tried to figure it out.
Yep.
And that school was amazing in helping me get the direction that I needed. And I realized I wanted to do something in the political arena, in the community service arena, and kind of try to figure that out. So I then transferred from Sinclair to Wright State, went out to Wright State, got my got my undergrad in political science and pre-law, and said, I'm really going to go down that political path. So I left Wright State and went out to Washington, D.C. and worked for now Governor Mike DeWine when he was a U.S. Senator. So
super cool.
He was a senator in D.C. I worked with him out in Washington, D.C., And then I did that until 2000. And then I came back here in 2000 to the Dayton area to help run the campaign for an employee of the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce at the time who was running for state representative, a guy by the name of John Husted. So John Husted was running for state representative in 2000, and we helped put his campaign together, and I put out 1 million different yard signs and knocked on doors with him and held $25 coffee fundraisers all around town and did everything
Chris,
you do.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's great. It is really neat. It was really neat.
That's super cool.
So then I worked with John in Columbus for a while. He obviously got elected. I worked with him in Columbus, working for him both officially in the official office, but then also helping him after hours on political things, right? On helping him put together his campaign for future political growth, for helping him support other candidates across the state.
Super cool.
Did that for a while, and then he was Speaker of the House that had become Speaker of the House in Columbus, and he came to me and said, "Chris, I'm not going to be able to keep working at the chamber." He was the Vice President of Business and Economic Development at the time.
Yes.
And he said, "I know you and your Lori are looking at having kids," and because we were close and we would talk about these things. And he knew family was close soon and would be in our future. And he said, "If you want to get close to home, closer to your mom and your dad and your family,
takes a village."
That's right. Here's a great opportunity for you. You can still help me from that position, but you can also help the community that I care a lot about.
What a great advocate also for the Dayton community.
Oh, incredible. I mean, a UD grad,
yes,
All-American defensive back. He knows economic development. He worked at the chamber. He worked for the Montgomery County Commission. He worked for a PR firm here in town. So he knew the community as well as I knew the community.
Wonderful.
And so it was just a great fit. So I came to the chamber in December of 2005, started off as the Vice President of Government Affairs and Economic Development. So I was doing all of our lobbying and advocacy work in D.C. and in Columbus.
Yes.
And then became the Executive Vice President after a few years, worked on more of the operations.
Yep.
And then took over as President and CEO in 2020.
Oh, my gosh.
When my great predecessor, who's a good friend of mine, Phil Parker, had been there 27 years, and he retired. He said, "You know what? This COVID thing, we're going to let the young guy take care of it. I'm going to get out of the way."
Well, you're a great leader, and the chamber, I know, is held to very high regard in the community.
Thank you.
That's a great background, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. I have a passion for this community. I grew up in this community. I raised my kids in this community.
Yes.
My brother and sister grew up in this community. My parents worked in this community. And so I want to see that greatness continue and continue to get better and better. And that's what drives me every single day.
And anyone who meets you and Lori can just sense that from the first minute that they interact with you, right? So a great segue to talk deeper about the chamber. Many people know about the Dayton Chamber of Commerce, but many may not fully understand its role. So, Chris, why don't you describe for our listeners and viewers what that is?
Absolutely. And I got one correction to that introduction.
Please.
Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce.
Dayton area. Thank you.
And that word's important.
It is.
Because I'm not just the city of Dayton.
Correct, sir.
It is the 14-county greater Dayton area that I have business members in. So I have 2,200 business members, including one of them is Jessup Wealth Management right here where we're sitting. So thank you for your support. And those 2,200 businesses have about 200,000 employees in the greater Dayton region. So we're a large regional chamber of commerce.
Yes.
We're a private sector organization.
Yes.
You know, I always believe, and you're in this business too, if you track the money,
yes,
you know what motivates somebody, right?
Yes.
And if you track the chamber's money, where do I get paid? Where's my salaries come from? How do we pay for our building? How do we pay for our services?
Yes.
It goes back to our private sector members like this organization right here.
Love it.
That's who we answer to. We answer to the business community. They're the ones that voluntarily elect to fund us.
Yes.
They're the ones that say, we want to support you with our dues dollars.
Yes.
And therefore, that's who I listen to. I don't work for government. I don't work for any other local organizations that aren't members.
Sure.
I work for my members.
Yes.
And so those members are very important to me. We listen to them. We talk to them regularly. We meet with them. We understand what their needs are.
Yes.
That they need. Well, what do they need help with so that they can grow their business?
Yes.
Hire more people. Sponsor the Little League teams. We want all of that to happen. In my world, profit is not a bad word at all. I want you to make a ton of money.
Yes.
And be wildly successful. I just want you to do it right here in the Dayton region.
There it is.
That's right. I don't want you
and
taking
outside of the city of Dayton too. It's a whole local community.
That's exactly
14
right.
counties.
14 counties.
That's super cool.
All the way west to Indiana, all the way north up to Auglaize County,
yes.
all the way east over into Fayette County where the new Honda LG facility is, and then south down into Butler and Warren counties. That's our footprint for our membership. That's where our members either live or work or operate their businesses, and we support anybody who's growing in that region. If you're growing in Tampa, unless you have your headquarters here, it might be a different conversation, right?
See, this is great because it gives our listeners and viewers that perspective. And because of this perspective, I think that you have some unique vantage points that a lot of people don't because of the interactions you have across all these different industries. Right?
Absolutely.
So this is going to be a great segue. So how would you characterize, Chris, in your own words, the Dayton economy, Dayton area economy right now, in your opinion?
So as I said in the beginning, I've been here my whole life,
yes.
right? Took a little stint in D.C., a little stint in Columbus, but for all intents and purposes, this is the community I know.
Yes.
I've seen it through ups and downs.
Yes.
Right? I mean, my dad worked for his entire career at what used to be called NCR Credit Union. It's now Universal One Credit Union. Mm-hmm. And I mention that specifically because we've seen highs and lows. We've seen the boom of NCR,
yep.
and we've seen the pain of companies like NCR that have left this community.
We sure have.
We've seen the boom of GM, and we've seen the pain of companies like GM leaving this community. So we've seen those peaks and valleys.
Yes.
We've lived them as a family. We've lived them as people. We've lived them as residents and employees in this area.
Yes.
And I can honestly tell you today,
yes.
this is the best trajectory I've ever seen our economy on.
I agree, by the way. Keep going.
It is, I think it's for multiple reasons. And one of the reasons is all of our eggs aren't in one basket.
Yes.
When all of our eggs were in a GM basket and they left, it hurt.
It hurt.
It hurt.
It hurt.
We all felt the pain.
Yes.
I had relatives out of work. People lost or suppliers in the region weren't able to be suppliers anymore. I mean, it was not a good situation.
No.
We've diversified our economy now.
Yes.
Certainly Wright-Patterson Air Force Base with a $15 billion annual economic activity is important to our community, and we invest a lot of time in continuing that.
Yes.
But that's not it, right?
That's right.
We also have the logistics and transportation infrastructure
which
and
continues to boom.
It is. If you drive around the Dayton International Airport, you'll see companies that everybody knows. Companies like Energizer, Chewy,
Procter & Gamble,
Amazon, Procter & Gamble,
Energizer,
United Alloy.
Yeah.
These companies that are investing in the Dayton region, investing to have their manufacturing or distribution operations right here. And the reason they're doing that is because we've got a great natural asset with I-70, I-75.
We really do, Chris. We really do.
Interchange.
Yes.
So you can get to 60% of the country's population in one day's drive from there. So if you're trucking something...
And that's an important point right there.
It is. You want to truck it from there. And so and this isn't just Chris from the chamber selling you on it.
Yeah.
We hired this company called St. Ange that came in and they do logistics impact studies.
Yeah.
They looked at it and said, we have one of the most optimal locations in the entire country. And that's what we're using to sell logistics companies to coming in.
And it's booming. I mean, I feel like every time I'm by the airport, like every 6 months, okay, a warehouse is up and another, key mark name is on the side of the building.
That's exactly right. And so that's killing it. Healthcare is killing it. I mean, we're fortunate to have 3 incredible healthcare networks in this region.
We really do.
Premier, Kettering, Children's.
And they are exceptional.
You can get any treatment for any health needs you have right here in the greater
You don't have
market.
to travel.
Nope. And we have world-renowned doctors.
We do.
We have great care. We have great facilities. We have great leadership. Everything you need here for that good healthcare quality of life is right here in the region.
You're right.
And then we have an incredible, I like to call it our family-owned small business community of people that are just here working, doing a great job at whatever they do. Whether that's companies like P&R Communications that do police radios,
sure,
but have their headquarters out of downtown Dayton.
Yep.
Or Grunder Landscaping that is making buildings look great all around town.
I'm a client of theirs.
That's great. Well, made your building look amazing
Yeah.
when I walked in this morning. So companies like Grunder that are doing that work, but they're family owned. They live here in this community.
Yes.
They work in this community, and their clients are in this community.
That's right, and they give back. That's one thing that I'm really loving right now about Dayton. I feel like we're having this resurgence, Chris, of supporting these local companies. And I say it that way on purpose because I feel like for a period, the Dayton community got away from that, my opinion. And I feel like there's been this resurgence of supporting local, and it's been great. Look at the restaurants.
People can see the impact of supporting local.
Yes.
When you support local, that owner of that local company is either your neighbor, they're a parishioner at church with you.
Well said, Chris.
They are a family member. They are somebody you see at the store. So if you're going to support that local company, well, and I hope they make a ton of money. I hope that company does very, very well.
Sure.
But their profits stay in this community.
That's right.
That means they're going and buying their car from Janelle Ross at Bob Ross.
And she's phenomenal.
And
yes.
she's great. So we want that. We want those local dollars to stay in this community. And people are smart.
Yes.
People in the Dayton region are some of the smartest, most strategic people I've ever worked with in my entire life. And they know, we don't have to tell them, if I spend dollars in this community, the dollars are staying in this community.
That's
well
important.
Said.
We wanted to take a minute and tell you about a service we personally use and trust, LifeLock by Norton. With everything we do online these days, protecting your identity and personal information is more important than ever. That's why we've partnered with LifeLock, a leader in the identity theft protection industry. Their mission is to empower people to live their digital lives safely, offering tools to help protect you and your family from threats like identity theft, cybercrime, and fraud. They combine advanced technology with 24/7 support to keep your information safer in today's connected world. We use it ourselves, and we think it's a valuable tool for anyone looking to add an extra layer of protection. If you're interested in checking it out, you can use our special link to get a discounted rate. As a heads up, we do receive a percentage of compensation if you sign up using our link, but we partnered with LifeLock because we believe in what they offer. To learn more and get the deal, just head to jessupwealthmanagement.com/LifeLock.
And so I'm getting a sense, like I have the same, that the Dayton community, in my opinion, is definitely on an expansion, an upswing. I'm getting a sense that business optimism from the C-suite is there. Are you getting a similar feeling from the C-suite that there's optimism across the board?
Absolutely. The optimism's there. And one of our barometers for that optimism is outside investment coming into our market. Because local companies will invest in their market if they have the resources to do it, right?
Yes.
They feel a sense of social responsibility and community responsibility to do that. Who doesn't have that responsibility is some company out of Baltimore or some company out of Texas.
Right.
And we're seeing those companies come in and make investments here.
Yes.
They're not doing it because they think the chamber's great or Matt Jessup's great or
you're not wrong.
The mayor of Miamisburg told them to come move here. They're doing it because they see a future. They see a return on investment, and they see an opportunity for them to have wild economic success. And we're seeing a lot of those companies come in outside the region, come in, investing money here because they're saying, there's a future here. I want to get on the ship because the ship's leaving the dock and I don't want to leave without me.
You know, when you start comparing cost of living, quality of living in Southwest Ohio compared to a lot of parts of the nation, when you look at an educated workforce, it is extremely desirable, in my opinion. We stack up quite well, in my opinion. Would you agree?
Yep. And when you add to that a low cost of doing business and a pro-business legislative and regulatory environment.
And that is a key point.
It's a big point. And as you know, we spent a lot of work on the legislative and advocacy side because we're that voice for business when it comes to legislative and advocacy on the federal, state, and local levels. That matters, right?
It does matter.
You've got to have a business-friendly legislative environment. If you have a bunch of restrictions and high taxes where businesses don't want to operate, they're not going to come.
Yes.
There's 49 other states they can go to, and they're going to go to one of those states. But we've had a great run at creating a pro-business environment in this state and in this community, and we just got to keep going.
My gosh. This is a great interview, Chris.
I love it.
I love this.
Anytime I can talk about the community I love, I am in.
So let's do one more question on this topic. I'm going to do a follow-up. So what are some of the challenges that businesses are consistently talking to you about right now? What are some of the challenges that are out there?
So workforce always number one challenge, has been for probably the last decade for our businesses.
And to be more specific, lack of.
That's right. And it's not always a lack of people, right? There's people in this community that could go work, right? But sometimes there's a void or a gap, right?
Yeah.
There could be an open doctoral scientist position at Wright Pat.
Yes.
Right? But we might have somebody with a nursing degree over here. They're probably not going to connect without some retraining or some reservicing, right? So sometimes there's a natural void that's just going to happen.
Yep.
But the more we can do to help companies retain, identify, attract new workers, the more successful those companies are going to be. And Matt, part of that is a cultural change that's happened in the world. So when I graduated from college, you sent your resume out to companies all around the country, right?
Sir.
Or the world.
Yeah.
And if you got a job offer somewhere,
you're moving.
You went. Because you had nothing tying you back.
Yeah.
Generally, most people aren't married when they're coming out of college, so you don't have a lot tying you back. You just go do your thing, and you figure it out.
Yep.
What we have found, and we've done this, we've done a lot of surveying and had conversations with, we call them early career professionals. We have a program at the Chamber called Generation Dayton that helps
very popular.
Those early career professionals connect, and then even a cohort program called Ignite. And we talk to them a lot, and what it's come down to is they want to identify where they want to live first now. So it's less about where's the job, I'll go there. They've said, I want to identify where I want to be, I'll find the job when I get there. And so that cultural shift has made a difference in how companies now react. Because companies are saying, people aren't just going to come to me because I gave them a job offer.
Yes.
I need to see where the workforce is that I want, and I'm going to go there. So the more we can do to keep that workforce here, to attract more people here, and to grow those workers here with opportunities, are going to attract more of those private sector companies to come to the Dayton region, because we have the asset, we have the commodity that they want, which is people.
Yes. And it's a great community.
It is.
It really is. You know, when people visit from around the country, Chris, that haven't been to Southwest Ohio, you know, the first things they'll say to me, everybody is so nice.
Always. They wave at me when they pass me on the street.
Yeah. And like, is this normal, Matt? Is this just like this week? I'm like, no, this is Dayton. This is Dayton.
Another thing about Dayton is, and I've lived in multiple communities throughout my life, and relationships have always mattered in every community I've ever been in. I have never seen a community where relationships matter more than the Dayton region.
That's well said.
It's all about us having a personal relationship, me knowing you, you knowing me knowing your family. You need help with something, I'm here to help you. And when I need something, you're here to help me. But those relationships matter a ton. And I do not think somebody can be successful in this community if they don't double down on bringing together and cultivating strong relationships. If you do, sky's the limit. You can kill it here.
Absolutely agree. And I want to give you some props here. I think that you are extremely accessible. You lend your ear, and that is also, I think, what makes you so effective in your CEO role at the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce is that factor. So I want to give you props there.
Well, thank you. I believe that it's hard for me to represent my businesses if I don't know where their pain points are and know what they need.
Yes, and your team is too. Like, I've had times where your team has proactively reached out and they pretty much ask the question, how are things going? What can we do for you?
Absolutely.
And it's fabulous.
And sometimes the answer is, just keep doing what you're doing.
I do
that's
that.
Fine.
Yeah, and I do that.
And other times it's, hey, I've got a problem. Here's what it is.
Yeah,
and that's what I do. I solve businesses' problems.
I love this. So my next question is, when you think about Dayton, 5 to 10 years from now, what excites you most? You talked about a lot of topics there, Chris, and I'm in agreement. But when you look out on the horizon from your windshield, what excites you?
You know, to have a strong region, you have to have a strong core. And so our office is in downtown Dayton, strategically, because it's the center of our greater Dayton region, right? And it would be hard for me to pick other areas, so it's just I'm in the core. I see an opportunity for urban redevelopment and for redevelopment of our core and to make it even stronger. And some of this is already happening, right?
I think there's some momentum here.
That's right. The arcade has been finished with phase 2.
Yes.
The Dayton Convention Center just finished their $50 million renovations.
And it's fabulous.
Absolutely. The main line is going to be starting soon, which is the old City Center building across from the Levitt in downtown Dayton.
Yes.
Companies like Kershner continue to invest and grow
in the
community. We just finished a strategic plan for Courthouse Square. there's big things popping.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of political courage. It's going to take a lot of political will. It's going to take a lot of capital, right? You got to have a lot of money to make in these investments.
Yep.
And that takes time. But when those things really start to come online and we redevelop that urban core, it's going to make the entire region stronger because it supports the entire region, right? When you look at the urban core, what's down there? Arts, recreation, baseball, University of Dayton, healthcare. You have companies and organizations that support this entire region. So if you're in Auglaize County and you want to go to the baseball game, you're coming to the Dayton Dragons.
You are.
If you're in Warren County and you need children's services, you're going to Dayton Children's Hospital.
Yes.
Right? I mean, if you want to go see a Broadway show, you're going to the Schuster Center.
Yes.
So those things matter a lot because they're amenities for the community. And we're going to uplift them even more and make it even stronger so that downtown and our urban core is the best in the country. It's the place everybody wants to be.
Chris, this is an amazing podcast. You are such a great advocate for Dayton.
Oh, thank you.
We are blessed to have you and Lori in this community. Some rapid fire questions. I always love this portion of having guests. All right, you ready? Favorite Dayton restaurant?
Ooh, Pine Club.
Love that one. I'm with you. Most underrated thing about Dayton?
It's relationships.
Love that. Best leadership lesson learned?
That's a great one. And you know what? There wasn't a lesson that popped in my head right away, but there was a person that popped in my head.
Who's that?
Debbie Feldman.
Debbie's great.
Debbie's great. Debbie is one of the strongest leaders I've ever worked with. So she's retiring from Dayton Children's Hospital this summer.
Yes.
But her leadership from when she was at Montgomery County,
yes,
and then she transitioned to Dayton Children's Hospital, and I'll give Debbie some kudos here as her outgoing retirement gift. So Debbie, if you're listening to this is
I'll make
authentic.
sure she gets this.
Yeah. Dayton Children's Hospital was at a crossroads when Debbie came, and and this is just Chris speaking. I'm not on the board. I don't have any insider knowledge, but it was at a crossroads on whether it was going to be able to continue to be an independent hospital or whether or not it would get merged with another hospital network, right?
Sure.
And I have no idea what that network would be, but this is just my outside perception.
Yeah.
And when Debbie came on board, through her leadership, she was able to fully establish that hospital as an independent children's hospital for the Dayton region forever.
She did.
She developed a campus there. She expanded the services, worked with good friends like the Mateals to create the mental health center to support our children in need. And there is no question that is an independent children's hospital for indefinitely because of her leadership and her work. So I don't know if I have a leadership lesson, which was your question, but I have a leadership person I highly admire.
I think it's
that
well
has done
said.
Great work for our community.
And she has attracted top talent in specialty areas. Again, you don't have to travel.
That's right.
Dayton Children's is phenomenal.
Yeah, there are people that travel here with their children from other countries like Argentina to have specialty services done at that hospital.
Yes.
Because they couldn't get them done in their country, and we're the only one in the world that had that type of service. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. That's great. I love talking about Debbie. She's great. So how can listeners engage with the Chamber? Social media, how can they engage with you, Chris?
Sure. Well, anybody can call me anytime. Pop into our offices at 3rd and Main Street. Love to have you. We have myself and 30 other staff people that are there.
And they're fabulous.
We have a great team, right? I mean, working on everything from advocacy to workforce development to safety, professional development, our professional development cohort programs like Leadership Dayton, our women's leadership program, Empower, our young professional program, Ignite. We have minority business services, women business services, veteran business services. We cover the gamut, and because we want to support our business community. So it's finding where you need to engage with us, right? You can't do everything. Yeah. My team puts on 152 events a year. If you went to every single one of those, you wouldn't be able to do your job and get paid.
That's right.
Right? So you can't do it all. But where do you need to engage, right?
Yes.
Like you like to engage in a lot of the financial services programming we're doing. Or if we're having the chairman from the House Financial Services Committee come in town, that's something you're probably going to be interested to be at.
Absolutely.
Right? We are working with the Federal Reserve on doing an event with the president of the Federal Reserve Bank later this summer. So That's something you're going to be interested in being at. You probably aren't going to be at my safety council event, though, where we talk about forklift safety.
Probably not.
But for every company, though, they need to find out where they can engage.
Yes.
I guarantee if those companies spend the time to figure out how to engage the right way, the investment will be well worth their time, and could potentially even have a direct monetary ROI to their investment.
This has been fabulous. And it's a great commercial for the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce also, because a lot of people, like I said at the top of the podcast, they've heard of the organization.
Sure.
But I don't really think they understand how active and accessible the organization is.
We're here for business. We are here for business. That's what I live and breathe every single day. That is who pays us, and that's who we work for. So everything we do is to help business and the economy be even greater. And Matt, we went through a strategic direction with our friends up at Aileron to really make sure we knew what our mission was and what our mission wasn't. And part of that strategic direction really opened our eyes to something. So, and I'll share this with you because it's changed our dynamic in our organization. We looked at who our competition was as a chamber.
Yeah.
We asked ourselves the question, is it other associations? We said, nope, not really. We all are partners. We work well together. We all have our lane and do a good job.
Yep.
We looked at other chambers and said, is other chambers? Said, nope, they're all partners. We work well with them. So then we said, well, is our competition money? Am I competing for dollars for my business community? And our business community was the one that came back and said, you're not competing for dollars. We believe there's value in you, and we're happy to pay for that value. At the end of the day, what we were able to figure out, what is our competition?
Yeah.
It's your time. We are competing for your time. I'm competing for Matt Jessup's time to spend an hour with me at an event with the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland.
Yes.
And that's an hour you're not here working with your clients.
Yep.
That's an hour you're not with your family.
Yep.
That's an hour you're not volunteering with a nonprofit that you care about. So everything we do at the chamber is to value your time. We've changed everything we do with this in mind. So we want every single person who engages with us to walk away and go, that was a great hour of my time.
Yeah,
the biggest insult is if they walk away and go, wait, not getting that hour back. That was a waste. That is when we haven't done our job. So everything we do is to maximize your time. So if we have something, you're going to get a lot of value and a lot of content out of that hour and walk away feeling like your glass is full.
This is great. Chris, honored to have you on as a guest. Great podcast. Thank you for your time today.
Absolutely.
So thank you for listening to episode 352 of the Independent Advisors Podcast. Chris and I thank you, and we'll catch you next week for episode 353.
Thank you for listening to the Independent Advisors Podcast. If you're interested in hearing more, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified every time a new episode gets released. Feel free to share with friends, family, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and X. Mark and Matt will continue to share beneficial information on these social media sites. Also, check out the podcast tab on their website. That's www.jessupwealthmanagement.com. There you'll find links to every episode of the Independent Advisors. Have questions or topics you want to discuss on the show? Send an email with the words questions and topics in the subject line to inquiries@jessupwealthmanagement.com. We'll talk about it right here on the podcast. Certain sections of this commentary may contain forward-looking statements based on reasonable expectations, estimates, projections, and assumptions. Forward-looking statements are not guarantees of future performance and involve certain risks and uncertainties which are difficult to predict. All indices are unmanaged and are not available for direct investment by the public. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This podcast is provided for general informational purposes only and does not constitute either tax, legal, or financial advice. Although we do go to great lengths to make sure our information is accurate and useful, we recommend you consult a tax preparer, professional tax advisor, financial advisor, or lawyer regarding your specific circumstances. Investing involves risk, including the loss of principal. No strategy can guarantee any objective or goal will be achieved.